This tutorial is about avalanche terrain, or more specifically how to manage avalanche terrain based on other conditions. So here we have the avalanche triangle of snowpack weather and terrain with people in the middle, made famous by Doug Fessler and Jill Fredston. And we're going to separate out terrain from the other factors in this tutorial, because this is what it's usually like when we're traveling in the backcountry. Whenever there's a question about snowpack, people, or weather, then terrain is always the answer. So, in other words, we use terrain to mitigate hazard from snowpack weather or from people. And let me demonstrate that in another little graphic where we have kind of a teeter-totter between snowpack weather and people, and then terrain on the other side. And we have safe conditions down here with green light conditions and dangerous conditions up here with red light conditions. And it kind of goes without saying, but in dangerous conditions we have to stick with safe terrain, and vice versa. So when the only time we can go into dangerous terrain is when conditions are safe, when we have a good snowpack, good weather, and good people. Now, usually not all three of those are the same. So usually we have something like this, like snowpack is red light conditions, whereas we have good weather and good people. But we still have to stick to safe terrain. So we always have to default to the highest level. And that may occur with weather, and it may occur with people. We have a large group of inexperienced people, and so even though the snowpack and weather is good, we still have to stick to safe terrain. The only exception to this is if it's a guided group where you have a good guide who's got good control of the people. Now, the kind of conditions that cause most avalanche accidents are kind of in the middle of the road here. So this is very typical of an avalanche accident kind of condition. We have green light weather, it's a sunny day, we have a good experienced group of people, but the snowpack is kind of middle of the road. Considerable danger, meaning that human triggered avalanches are likely if you go into the wrong spot. There's booby traps around, and you really need to know what you're doing as you're traveling. And so you have to adjust your terrain accordingly. The trouble comes when we get fooled by the sunny day and the good group of people, and we tend to push ourselves into more dangerous terrain than we really belong, because we really need to default to that next highest level. That's where we really should be, but instead we tend to push into more red light terrain. This is the kind of conditions that causes most avalanche accidents.